What's up, everybody? Joseph Hadaway here. As you can imagine, over the last few years, I have talked to hundreds, if not thousands of people about their money. I mean, I've talked to coworkers, random people on Twitter. I've had people on my podcast, even a couple people in the comments of these YouTube videos that I've talked to. And what I've kind of learned is every single person has a different opinion on what you need to do to get your money right. And something that keeps coming up in each of these discussions is how much money should you spend? How much should you be quote unquote allowed to spend? How many sacrifices could you make, or rather should you make, to reach that final goal of FIRE, financial freedom, retirement, wealthy retirement, a millionaire, whatever it is. And let me tell you, I've heard every opinion from people telling me that they're going to spend every single penny they make every single month because what's the point in saving? All the way to, I had someone on my podcast who only ate expired food from the grocery store because it was cheaper, and that meant they could invest and save more money. And whew, man, that's really two ends of the spectrum, but there's got to be a happy medium, right? That said, I'm going to try to make this simple. I want to make my stance on this very clear. In today's video, we're going to talk about how much money you should quote unquote be allowed to spend in your budget that is still going to allow you to reach your goals. But before we get into that, everyone meet Maggie. Brought her home earlier this week. She's going to be a new channel mainstay right alongside Chloe. Maggie's had a bit of a rough upbringing before we brought her home to the well taken care of and loved home she's in now, and even though she's doing better, she's still a little sad. But you know what can make her happy? You know what would make her so happy? If you reach down and subscribe to the channel. It takes $0, it costs no money, and it'll make Maggie here so happy. It'll really make her day. So please, subscribe to make Maggie happy. And as a fair warning to everybody out there, I'm going to keep adopting smaller and cuter dogs to guilt you into subscribing. So if you don't do it now, just know the day is coming. All right, dog time over. Let's talk personal finance. The reason I hope you clicked on the video. So as anyone's going to tell you, whether it be someone who's building wealth, someone who built wealth, or an online finfluencer, finance guru, whoever, they're going to tell you you have to make sacrifices if you're going to build wealth. If you're going to spend every single penny you earn, every single month, every single year, and you put nothing back between cash savings, 401k, 403b, whatever your employer-sponsored retirement plan is, IRAs, taxable brokerages, whatever it may be, if you're not going to put any money in those, you're not building wealth. If you're not investing money, you're not building wealth. And if you think that you don't have to save for the future, then you probably didn't click on this video. And if you did, you're probably long gone by now. So bye. I can't help you on this channel. But there's got to be a limit to the sacrifices you're going to make, because while early retirement is great, FIRE is great, financial freedom is great, being a millionaire is great, I would assume I'm not there yet, there's got to be a limit, because you got to live your life along the way. Let me make a quick example. So according to this article from themortgagereports.com, here in the US, you can get approved for a $300,000 mortgage at a 6% rate, a 30-year mortgage, of course, with only 3.5% down on only a $50,000 a year salary. Now, to put that in framing, according to First Republic, the average American salary is $54,000 a year, so we're right there at that number. And a lot of places across the country, $300,000 is a quite nice home. I know there are some places with high cost of living, and God, I don't know how you guys do it, but at least here on most of the East Coast, $300,000 is a very decent home, especially if you're like a single person or a small family. You can get a lot of land for not a lot of money. Either way, so I went through and I ran the numbers on that. After that 3.5% down payment, that's still about a $290,000 mortgage, which works out to a little more than $1,700 per month in your mortgage payment, and that's before we add on any property taxes or insurance either. So then we got to look at that in terms of your income. On a $50,000 a year income before taxes, you're making just below $4,200 a month. Right there, we run into the first issue. You're spending upwards of 40% of your pre-tax income on your mortgage payment, again, before utilities, before property taxes, before property insurance, and we haven't even factored in PMI either. I understand you can get approved, but that doesn't make it a good deal. But let's say you dropped your number down. Instead of a $300,000 house, you're looking at a $200,000 house, which again is still a very nice house and a very livable, decent home in much of the US. Well, then your payment drops down to about $11.50 a month. Right there, that's almost $600 a month you're saving that you can save, invest, pay down debt, whatever it may be. And yes, that is an absolute amazing step in the right direction, and it's exactly what I'm going for here. You're still living your life in a decent $200,000 house, but you're not blowing it all away on a massive $300,000 house. That said, I've met people and I've heard other gurus online who will tell you that the real way to build wealth is, instead of that, you go buy a tent and you live in the woods because that's the cheapest way to do it. And you're not hearing that from me. And that's where I want to draw the line. I want you to live frugally, but not cheaply. Frugal meaning, you don't spend every penny that you're pre-approved for when you're looking for a home. Maybe you drive an older or a used car, and I know that's cliched, and I'm sorry for that, but whatever. Maybe you buy the store brand instead of the name brand food sometimes, clip some coupons, avoid bad debt, don't put a whole lot on your credit card, whatever. But you're not going to hear me to tell you, live in a tent in the woods, live in an uninhabitable home, only eat expired food because it's the cheapest. You don't need to put every single penny all the time into your brokerage account, your retirement account, whatever it may be. Because personal finance, wealth building, whatever, is a journey. For a lot of people, it is a 20, 30, 40, 50, even year plus journey. And you don't want to look back and regret it. By all means, go out for coffee, go to a restaurant, hang out with your friends, take a vacation at least once a year, drink a beer, whatever it may be. Life in moderation is the goal. Allocate enough spending in your budget every month so you don't feel like you're left out, but also make sure you're putting enough money into your account to still reach your goals. And if you can't do both, maybe reevaluate your goal or find another way. Because the last thing you want in life, and I'm always going to say this, is to look back once you've hit that millionaire point, once you've reached financial freedom, once you've retired early, whatever it may be, and look back and say, I've wasted 20 years of my life and it wasn't worth it. That's what we're all trying to avoid. Life in moderation. I'm going to keep saying that. Live your life along your journey, because otherwise it's just not worth it. Hey, thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe, or I'll bring a smaller, cuter dog on the screen next week. Maybe Maggie will be a little less camera shy. Well, we'll see what happens either way. Let me know down in the comments if there's any other personal finance or side hustle topics you'd like for me to talk about. Thank you again so much for watching, and I'll see you all next week.